I want to play it for a while.
Linda,
Yeah.
I went ahead and made that for you. Okay, so you need that.
Silver Crown racing tonight. What's that? Silver Crown? Where they at? Yeah, well, you got that in, All American Racing. Should be a good show.
Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, today is June 25th, 2026, election board meeting. We have board members present, Tim Lannon, Linda Smith, and myself. This meeting was publicly noticed on June 23rd, and it's on live feed, so if somebody can't hear or is not sure, you can always go home and watch it. Let's do old business. Did you get a chance to look at the minutes of the last meeting?
Yes, Madam Chair, I had approved for the last meeting's minutes,
Mhm.
and I think they're fine. So there's further discussion on them. I move their approval.
I'll second.
Just a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. New business today, we're going to be hearing some complaints.
I have one thing, Michelle, before we move forward. So there are actually 3 different minutes here.
Right, I
And
saw
all of
that.
them were sent to you. So one of them is from March 26th meeting.
Right.
And then also May 15th meeting. And then the one from last time would have been May 28th.
It's 28, 26, 28, okay. All right,
Tim, I don't know.
I looked at them all. Did you look at all of them?
I didn't know we had approved these.
I thought there was, okay, I thought there was only one we hadn't approved.
No, all of those we have not approved. And yes, I sent copies to all of you.
Even though
I'll read these in, yes.
they're-
I thought there was 2, but there's 3.
I move we approve the minutes from the March 26th and May 15th meeting as well.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved and carried. Okay, so, the new business today, hearing article, we have a few election complaints to go over. And before we proceed, Jeff, I was gonna have you speak to how you want to proceed with this. If you could, tell the people myself.
Yes. My understanding, Madam Chair, is that we're going to have 2 different hearings today. One on a complaint filed by Nicole Kapuzinski, and the other one on a complaint filed by a Ms. Mercedes Cunningham. I believe the agreed upon procedure is for the complainant to make a 5-minute presentation on the complaint, introduce evidence. The board has discretion to allow additional time. And then after the 5-minute presentation, for the board to ask, or the attorney to ask questions. And then for lack of a better word, the accused will get an opportunity to present for the same period of time. And that present the same kind of evidence, and again with questioning, and the questioning can involve cross-examination if necessary. And then the board, of course, has discretion to extend any of those timelines. I would recommend that each of the people that may testify today be sworn in. under penalties of perjury. And then at the end of these hearings, the board could take a vote today to draft findings of fact consistent with this decision. It could take it under advisement, or it could make a dismissal somewhere like today. So, but that's kind of the procedure. And
So we're going to be maybe asking questions if we have one, but you're going to be asking questions yourself.
I may. It's just you three obviously as the board members and the people that got in vote will be paramount. You'll have priority, of course.
Okay. All right. So we have complaint one. Complainant one is Nicole, is it Kapusinski? Is that how I pronounce that? Okay.
All right.
What we're going to swear in first.
Anybody that may testify today, if you could raise your right hand at this time, will you swear under the penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you got all these sworn in.
Okay. So first off, I had a couple issues because I didn't get this in my email. I didn't get it in snail mail or certified mail. Catherine had to forward it to me, and that's how I was able to get any type of rebuttal. And my problem with this is I filed 3 complaints.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
3 complaints, and only 1 is being heard today. But I can't tell one story without telling the rest of them. That's why they're all kind of intricately connected, because it was happening simultaneously at the same time, and I was being harassed by several different people at the same time. So with that being said, I sent some stuff to you guys today through Heather Bailey. You should have that all in front of you. And I would like to start with a public statement for this hearing. Happy 250-year anniversary. My family helped establish Madison County and parts of Hamilton County after the Civil War. 1,800 land grants for service to this nation. We helped establish the county line area near Perkinsville, Indiana, and many of my ancestors are buried in Perkinsville and Pioneer cemeteries in several Indiana counties. This community is not just a place on a map to me. It is part of a family history, sacrifice, and legacy. That is why what happened to me cuts so deeply. I believe the process used against me was morally and ethically bankrupt. And I believe it violated, so this goes into, I've been punished now because Rush Willis, Mikkel Vaughn, and several other elected officials wanted to get me labeled as a Republican in bad standing for 10 years. I don't find that fair. I did not serve my country to come home and be silenced by political insiders for filing election complaints and asking hard questions. I did not earn the votes of 1,285 Madison County citizens only to have their choices discarded through a process I believe was retaliatory and unfair. This is bigger than one campaign election. Our votes matter, and the taxpayers are footing the bill. And it was very easy for someone who didn't like the results to come in and change it after we won. So, got a lot of information here. I'm getting ready to start into, they want you to correct me.
No, I wasn't sure what we were hearing. I know we heard about David Alvey.
Yeah, I'm going into that. It's an introduction. It's an introduction. April 20th, no, it's not irrelevant because you didn't get labeled in bad standing. You've been violating me for 6 years on election complaints. So have you and so have you. You started last year. So it is relevant to what happened. And now I'm punished for 10 years because I filed a complaint about electioneering that still hasn't been heard. And y'all got blamed for it by Mikkel. And then David Albee over here, as soon as I pulled up, if you look at the exhibits, they were standing in the chute at 9 a.m. That's in the packet that I handed you. And the mower that he would eventually get on and do the whips around the polling location.
Nicole, I understand the frustration, but
You participated. So there's a conflict of interest with you here too.
No, we're not hearing that today. It's 5 minutes we have, remember?
No, I understand, and I'm getting my 5,000 words out in 5 minutes. Whether you like what comes out of my mouth or not, it's called protected speech.
My point is the complaint, which we have before us, has to do with the incident in the Maui.
Okay, and I haven't even got a copy of it.
And Mr. Out, If you could keep your comments and your evidence to that, I'm more than willing to listen to it.
You're going to get to look at that at home, because I tried to contact your office 2 or 3 times to figure out how we could get videos up there so I could show my videos that show the damage that was done. Because not only did he fling grass onto my signs, and I only had 100 because I'm poor. I'm poor folk. We all know this. The grass dried to my signs. And when I went to pull the grass off later, because I couldn't get to it till later, the whole front of my sign started peeling off. So then the grass stained my signs. Okay, I know, I get it. Some people don't like me, but I have never, in the 6 years that I've started getting into politics, I have never damaged anybody's stuff. I would never damage anybody's stuff. I am not a threat to you. I'm not a threat to you. And I'm not a threat to you or Jeff or anybody else at this Madison County Courthouse. Okay, but that's what the story that keeps getting spun. So I didn't get notified, but I do have a rebuttal. So on April 25th, starting at 9 a.m., David Albee started mowing the grass around the polling location. I have a copy of the contract from the polling location that does not have any type of sign instructions whatsoever. The prior year in 2024, when Russ Willis got out there and measured the chute, Mikkel Vaughn and all of them were present, even David Albee. David Albee started the fights in 2024. So that's 2 election seasons and cycles that David Albee has been out there intimidating voters or candidates from letting them be able to participate in an election process. That's not cool. It's not fair. Okay, so nobody gave me sign instructions, so I thought I decorated that property very pretty, and other people and voters liked it. And then my signs got damaged. Catherine's signs got damaged. I got yelled at. So come Monday morning, David Albee started in on me at 7:34 in the morning, telling me that I had to come remove my signs immediately out of respect for the church. Now, I got 3 different answers on why I had to move those signs, none of which I feel like were legal. There is no Madison County ordinance that says where we can and cannot place our signs. It doesn't say how many signs that we can place or not place. And there is no Indiana code that specifically says that we can't decorate a polling location during an election, especially when it's our first campaign and we were excited about participating. At least I was. So that has been shot. So I have exhibits from everything that was going on that day that is in your packet that is in front of you. I have video links. My Google Doc drive even has it's interactive where you can go and play the links. Okay, and if David Albee was not part of the church staff, he was not part of the contract or anything in between, I'm not sure why David Albee was harassing me to come pick up my signs at all. That should have went through Tim Lannon, and it wound up going through Tim Lannon. And actually, you two were nice, and you actually grew on me during this election process because you didn't come out there blazing and yelling at me. You smiled and you were polite, and I thank you for that. And when you mediated between the sign because a volunteer had put the sign in the chute, then we didn't realize it until noon. You were very nice to me, and you have been very civil to me this particular round, and I thank you for that. Now, Monday, when things hit ahead and I had to be forced to remove my signs, I was yelled at by Mikkel Vaughn and you. I know my 5 minutes is up. I get it. But
Does the board have any questions for Nicole?
Okay, so Nicole, I have one question.
Really slow.
Okay, so you're saying that in order for this to be an election violation, you have to show intent. So you're saying that David Albee intended to hurt your signs?
David Albee does not like Catherine. And David Albee, I believe, had malicious intent because when I walked up to him and asked him, I even told him, sir, because I had no clue who he was. I had never met this man before Saturday. And I said, I realize that my signs may be in your way, and I will come back later with a push lawnmower and I will fix everything that these signs had done. He didn't introduce himself as whatever, but he did wind up saying like David Albee, the elder of the church. And he didn't say that he had damaged my signs. We didn't find out about the damage until 24 to 48 hours later.
So you're saying that he purposely just damaged your signs and nobody else's?
Catherine and mine. Ours were next to each other.
Those are the signs that he damaged.
And I have witnesses that watched him.
And you think that was, he intended to do that on purpose?
He shouldn't have been on the mower per the contract that.
Well, okay, that's something else. Okay. I understand. All right, that's all I have. Anybody else?
I just want to clarify, the damage that you're alleging to your political signs, you're saying was caused because David was mowing around the area, obviously, where your signs were.
Too close.
And what exactly were those?
They were towards the hillside.
Was this the signs that were running on, State Road 109 and then on?
Behind the poles, yes. And I have lots of videos. You can see that they weren't in front of or violating that code. Because, and when you guys pointed out the one, we moved them from that and we moved them up a little bit. You know, we got the warning and we obeyed.
I appreciated that. I guess the other question I have is, how many signs are you saying?
It was pretty much all of them that went along. It's like, we're talking 20 that if I had to go home and I had to pick those out, 10 apiece, 10 for me, 10 for Catherine, because they were right next to each
The
other.
reason I asked is, I mean, I've had, obviously yard signs in my yard, and, the person that I hire to mow it, occasionally that happens to those signs. I don't have 20, but I may have 2 or 3. And I noticed, you got, grass platings on them, or whatever. But I just kind of hose them off. Or whatever.
Well, after 24 hours, it plastered. So it became like some type of glue to where the water wasn't knocking it off. We literally had to do elbow grease, and it hit it so hard that it stained the white parts of some of the lettering.
So.
You can see that in the pictures.
Okay, so you had approximately 10 signs.
A piece,
Right, a piece.
20,
And how do you come up with $1,000 of damage?
because they were $50 a piece. If you buy them in bulk, it's less, but
$50 a piece?
$50 a piece is $50 a piece.
So you-
Catherine could afford it. I can't. So some of my signs are out of commission because I wouldn't want to put them at polling sites because people are going to look at it and be like, ooh, she can't even take care of her signs properly. And I didn't do that.
Okay, so who did you get your signs from?
My campaign store. Receipt is here. I don't think that one got in that. I can give it to you before I walk away from the podium.
Your campaign store?
My campaign store.
Okay. Okay, and so you had like 100 signs, right?
Not there, but total, I had 100 signs. I spent less than $1,500 on my campaign material. Total.
Yeah, we even had a copy of your committee when you turned it in for how much you spent.
It's like 1,200 maybe.
You spent around, I think you had my campaign store in there for $800, maybe $50,
Yeah.
maybe $800.
That was for large ones too.
Yeah, you had the large ones. So they charge $50 a sign. That's a lot.
If I purchased them individually, and I could go back, if you guys, give us a grace period since I didn't have the letter didn't get sent to me on time, then I would be willing to go and get the actual breakdown.
Let me ask you a question, because this is what I don't understand. If you're paying $50 a sign and you had 10 of them, just 10 would cost you $500. But you ordered 100 signs from them.
Yeah.
So that would be a lot more than spending $800. You spent,
No, I have the breakdown. I have the receipt right here. The breakdown, the actual yard signs were $345.
right.
And I didn't plan on, it's property damage. I didn't plan on having to replace those signs because they got stained with grass or that they were peeling off the red parts of my sign. One of them has a hole in it from a rock. It got thrown through the sign and broke it.
If you have 100 signs and you paid $345 a sign.
No, that's not what I just said.
You just said that. You said $345.
No, I said $345 for 100 signs.
So that's $3.45 a sign.
I'm not
That's
going to
not
do the math
50.
right now.
That's
That's not.
50. Nicole, I spoke to the store.
Did you speak to the store?
Yeah, I spoke to the
Okay.
gentleman, yeah.
Okay.
Because I was confused because you kept saying $1,000. And he told me that you paid $345 a sign and you paid 80 cents for the wire, which came to $425. And so I thought, and you ordered 100 signs, and then you ordered some 4x4s. So at $345 a sign, because obviously the wire wasn't messed up, and you're talking about 10 signs. So you had $34.50 in damage, not over 1,000.
Do you have that documentation for me to look at it?
I can get it to you. I just got my notes. I can tell you who I talked to and give you the phone number. But yeah, so that would be $34.50 total, not 1,000. That's why I was confused. So I called them myself because I looked at your committee.
What number? I would like to see that information. So please.
I will. But you just said it. Think about it. You just said it. You said 100 signs, and you said $345 a sign.
If I had to buy them individually, it would be $50 a piece. I had to buy other individual signs, and they were $50 a piece from Print. When I looked it up on this store or on this website, it even said it had that price on it. When I looked,
It's $340. You paid $345 a sign. So did
She's
you?
only replacing 10 signs.
I'm not replacing.
Please.
No. Those signs you could have used before. You said they just had dirt on them.
It didn't just have dirt on it. It had grass, and they were stained.
Okay. Well,
With
let's
malicious
talk about
intent.
that. Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Yeah, you were there too,
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
and you
well,
stood in the
I-
chute with everybody.
No, I was.
Yeah, you did. I got pictures. It's in there too.
Nicole,
I know where this is going. You're gonna go ahead and try to dismiss it, Michelle. It's okay. It's okay. I know you.
$1,000 in signs.
I can't prove that right now because I'm at the podium, but when I get home, I will make sure to print the stuff off.
So you paid $50 for 10 signs and you said that were.
No, I didn't pay $50 a sign for 10 signs. I paid $345 for 100 signs. If I had to replace 10 signs, from my understanding, no, I don't have enough money to do that.
So there was 10 signs. Okay. All right.
10 signs.
All right. I understand. All right.
I have a question as
Yes.
well. Go ahead, Tim. I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
So you had referred to a contract, and I'm not clear on what that is.
Okay, that is Exhibit K, page 21. I requested the contracts from Heather, or from one of them. I can't remember which office right now, but I received 30 contracts. One of them is there.
Oh, you're talking about our questionnaire. Okay.
Well, I asked for contracts, and that's what they sent me as the contract. So if that's a questionnaire, that's a questionnaire. And if you're saying this isn't a contract, then I would like, because I'm pretty sure I was pretty on point with what I requested. And if this isn't a contract, we'd like to see a copy of that.
I think your request said something similar. Anything that you could consider a contract is what I sent to Mr. Graham. This is all we have. And he
Okay,
said,
and that's a
let's go
contract
ahead.
questionnaire.
It's just a questionnaire.
Okay.
Okay.
With a blank space where it says for any type of special
Exactly.
instructions.
You're right. There were no special instructions at that time.
And David Albie's name is also not on that contract that you guys sent me.
No, his name wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. In your complaint, Nicole, you state that there was a police report, 2026-13.
Yes. Yes, that's not in here. I didn't.
My question is, so you reported this damage to your signs to the
Yes.
police?
Mhm.
And were charges filed or what happened?
That I don't know yet. I thought if charges, I don't know how to get charges filed on anybody. I've tried to get charges filed on Russ Willis for 6 years, and here we are. So I don't know how to get charges on anybody. So I did file them, but I don't know what APD did with it.
Okay. All right. So is Mr. Albee here?
He is.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's see.
He's sat behind the phone, sitting on the second row.
All right. Mr. Albee, would you come up, please?
Hi, my name's David Albee. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't even know where to start. Our church has been a polling place since the inception of satellites. We have never, ever had a problem of any kind. Originally, over the years, signs weren't put up at all till election day out of respect for the church and not just our church, but all churches. That was the way it did. And then on election day, of course, they put them everywhere they wanted, except on the hill. We never had them spread all across the front of our church. If you know, our church is at Cross and Scatterfield, the one on the hill there. And they've never been there. So, and we leave them there till election, next day after the election, then I pick them up and I put them against the building and we leave them there till Saturday. If nobody's come and got them by Saturday, then we take the wires and give them back to either party or whatever. So, but with that said, I text her that morning and said, well, could you please come and remove your signs from the hill out of respect for the church? I think I gave you copies of all of our text messages at that time. Okay. That, and she, I did not yell at her. Actually, we never talked at all till that afternoon about 4 o'clock. And she did say she would mow the church lot because I quit. There were so many cars. I didn't want to get any grass on the cars. And so after I found out that I had damaged her signs, I offered to you, I said, if you bring them back to the church, I will clean them and make them right. I believe if you'd soaked the grass instead of just scraping it off like that, it probably would have come off. And so, but I know my name's not on the contract, but I am a trustee of the church and I take care of the grounds, and that's why I was there. And the morning in question, I was there at 7:30 in the morning thinking I could beat everybody from getting all their signs in the way and I could mow. But they'd already, Nicole and they'd already been out and put all their signs up everywhere. Also in this thing that we just saw said I damaged the flag. That is not true. We never touched the flags. I might have ran over the signs. I sure wouldn't have ran over the flag. So, but I really, I don't know what to say. I mean, you've got all the information we had. I mowed them and I have. Also, there is to run off to the shoot question. There was the following Sunday spots put out to where they knew not to go past them. So we took care of that. But I guess I don't have 5 minutes to talk.
I'm going to read this. Is that okay?
Sure. That's
Because
what
I'm
it's
not
saying.
sure that this is what you've given us is correct.
Right.
Okay. If
Well,
it's not,
let me tell you real quick.
why don't you read it?
My daughter-in-law pulled this off for me. I don't have the electronics intelligence to do all that. So she did that. And this is exactly what was on the phone. And,
Why don't you read it? Would you read it?
what, all of it?
It's only about 4 pages. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
It's 7:34 a.m. Like
Yeah,
Nicole
on
said.
Monday morning, I said, could you please? I'm sorry.
David, what are these? These are text messages.
These are text
on
messages.
your phone?
This came off of my phone. And I said, it said, could you please remove your signs in front of the church? It would be appreciated by the staff. And then her first answer was, maybe you guys should not be a polling place. I will contact the election room when it opens. There is absolutely no rules for the signs. You wouldn't have harassed Callahan if you wouldn't have harassed Callahan for the past 3 months. I might not be so defiant. It's election. Every polling place in Indiana has them in front of the building. Again, there's the question. I said you could put them anywhere you wanted, up and down our driveways, clear out to Cross Street, clear out to Scatterfield, but just not in front of the church out of respect for the church. She said, I'm calling the election room when it opens. And I said, put them anywhere else. What authority do you have to tell me to remove our signs? I didn't tell you. I asked you nicely and haven't touched a thing. You can leave the flags. Of course I can leave the flags. I would ask the same of any other candidate. We have been polling place ever since. Never, ever before have we had any problem like this. And she says something about 24. I have no idea what she's talking about there. Because most candidates have them scattered on properties. They don't have enough signs at polling places.
Go on.
I really need to write.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, well, somehow she went off on a tangent about how many pedophiles attend your church. Quite a few. I believe one of them is in the pastoral role. If you can let Democrat pedophiles or rapists attend your church and be pastors and ministers, then those signs are the least of your problems. I said, God forgives all sinners, even you and me. Have a blessed day. We kept going from there. Trying to make sure I'm reading right.
I thought, did you not ask or say, I will clean them up for you?
Let me see, I think
I saw that one somewhere.
She offered to, I'll just help you guys with that.
Yeah,
She offered to clean them after the fact, after I'd already made a big stink about it, but it was too late, we were in mid of the election. So I had to get stuff done. One time, got thrown.
that was on Monday, and I said, if you couldn't bring them back, I'll clean. I'm sorry, I don't even know why. I have no idea where I stopped.
Okay, so you have more questions.
Well, David, when you were mowing, did you know that you were getting grass?
No. We have one of those, the big red ones that you see, and I know the chute was down, so I wouldn't try to blow grass everywhere. But again, I was doing it at 7:30 in the morning to try to beat everybody's signs out there. And like I said, we've been a polling place for ever since the inception.
David, these signs that we're talking about, they're on church property, is that correct? Yeah. And how long have you been the maintenance crew, part of the maintenance crew for the church?
Oh, I don't know. I'm full-time now, but 3 or 4 years.
Okay, so this is the first election cycle you've gone through where you were hanging around the signs?
Yeah.
And how long have you been a member of the church? Approximately.
Okay. About 19 years now.
Okay. And have you been aware of your membership in the church of any other similar campaign sign issues with the church?
No, we know. And again, it wasn't the signs per se. It was in the front, rolling around the front of it. Up and down the driveways and entryways and down on Scatterfield. She had a bunch, or had some down there with the flags. That was fine. It was just in front of the church that we asked her to move them.
Would you have asked any person to move?
Yes, I would have. But nobody, and again, we've done this since the inception of it. We've never had anybody at any time put signs out there on the hill. They've always been up and down the driveways and the entryways to go in.
Jeff, let me ask you this. In order for this to be an election concern, he has to show that he had intent to do something to an election sign, correct?
Right. He was defacing the sign on purpose.
On purpose. There has to be
With
intent
yeah.
that he would try
Then
to.
we could make findings of fact indicating that. And of course, we're not an enforcement mechanism here. We refer things.
Right.
And so we can make findings of fact and refer those to an enforcement authority.
Okay.
And when I say one other thing for the record,
If an intent, then why would you offer to move you offered to write them down? So I don't see how there's intent to hurt the sign.
We've got an issue too. Technically, these signs were on private property.
Right.
It's no different than if someone stuck your least favorite candidate in your, now that's a little bit different because they're a polling place, but it still doesn't change their property rights on what they can do with their property.
With your property.
And so that comes into play. Even if you find the intent to do that, you got to go beyond and say you didn't have a right to do it in the first place.
Right.
Both of them are cut hurdles.
I did have one other thing if possible. The part about the pedophile, as to my knowledge and our pastor's knowledge, who's been there since September, none of that is true.
With my cousin.
And so the pastor, I think, had a conversation for the record that with Tim about not being a polling place next year because of that. But we talked her down off the ledge, and we still. The other thing I think is important to know that if I understand the vote tabulations at the end of every election, we've been number 1 or 2 to the courthouse because it's a nice place to stop. You just run on out north, go home, to LA, wherever. And so I'm sorry that you have to do this, but I have one. I hope you don't judge our church or any church by 1 or 2 people. Because if you did, you might judge all veterans by 1 or 2 people.
Let me ask you a question, because I'm not sure about this.
Okay?
I had people send me a couple of things I was trying to find out. I was going to call Payless. Was it your area or Payless where the complainant was screaming about this, about pedophiles, and they hate veterans, they hate combat veterans? Was that the
Had
church?
nothing. It must have come from Payless. We have not any knowledge that I know of.
Okay,
Anybody from our church.
Payless, okay.
There's a video, I sent it to you.
So
I did not say that I hate combat veterans.
You said the
And I
church
don't like
did.
pedophiles.
The church hates combat
And I
veterans.
didn't yell.
So,
At the church. There was no
do you
yelling.
have-
It was chaos.
anything else?
No, that's all. I just want to make sure. Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, Linda, would you like, is there anything?
I don't have anything else. Go ahead,
Well, I'm
Tim.
gonna ask Jeff here, because it's my understanding as election board, we have authority over campaign and election violations. And assuming there was some intent here and that Mr. Albee intended to damage the signs, I don't see where that rises to the level of an election law violation. It might be a crime, and Nicole in her complaint even cites a criminal code cite for that. But in terms of there being a separate election law, which would make it, a violation of the election law to damage a political sign or political material, something, I couldn't find that.
And especially what I've heard today and what I've read, just sitting here, it's the second floor
Second.
situation.
Okay, so. All right, so do I have a motion to, I feel it should be on the second floor as well. I don't think it's an election. I don't think there was intent here. I don't think he had intent. And I think, when she says, well, if you hadn't the last 3 months, given, I can't remember exactly what I have it here, but giving Catherine a hard time, I might feel different. So right there, to me, that's,
So when you say second floor, and let's all be clear, so you're talking about small claims court, is that right? Is that what your prosecutor's office? Third floor, okay.
third floor, yeah.
Anyway, for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be dismissed.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, so we have the next complaint here.
That is,
Which one is it?
the one that has to do with Todd Baldridge and,
National Borders, we're going to dismiss that.
We should dismiss it on that.
Okay, so you think that
My recommendation now, if you're even taking the facts as true, that the evidence presented does not rise to the level of election violation. That has the internal, it's like it's point 2.
But Todd Baldridge, we just said, this company, the campaign, mailers, the buyers, it's not your church.
Even if that's true, that is not considered an expenditure. I recommend that one be dismissed.
Okay, so complaint 2 regarding 12 vouchers. Do I have a motion to dismiss complaint 2?
I just don't know about Jeff. It's not a campaign violation because it's
Because he is not a member of a campaign, he's a private citizen.
Oh,
In fact, he may have, ma'am, sorry, we're talking, that's an interruption. I recommend you do the one warning on the,
Nicole, this is your warning. Please be quiet. Please be quiet.
that the, just because a person may have strong political views or participated in campaigns in the past, does not make them rise to the level in which any document they share on social media needs disclaimers of a campaign.
This person who posted was not the candidate and was not a operating on behalf of a political.
It is a person known to be involved in political campaigns in the past as a consultant, but
This wasn't a political committee that was sponsored.
correct.
So I just want to make sure I understood that.
So do I have a motion to dismiss complaint 2?
I do dismiss the last two second.
Okay.
I'll second.
You'll second it, Linda seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Complaint 3, Nicole,
You told me, you said, I'm gonna take my second warning, because you just said you weren't gonna hear that today, and now you're doing it, and that's what I'm prepared to rebut.
okay,
So now you can electioneer, that's what you're gonna tell me, you're gonna dismiss electioneering.
So complaint 3 is
Yeah,
regarding McKelvon.
right.
Number 2 is Michael Vaughn, number 3 is Todd Baldwin.
Oh, you're correct.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
officer,
You're correct.
Nicole, this is your last warning.
No, that's warning number 2.
Okay,
3.
that's your last warning. On the Nicole versus Mikkel Vaughn, we need to set a hearing for that, and, if you have that on complaint 3. I know I'm gonna be out of town a lot in July. I think we need to set this aside and decide on another time to put this on the calendar, because I gotta really check. I've been looking back and forth. And, I'm gonna be in Chicago, and I got school starting, and so I'm gonna make sure that we all are together, and that Jeff, that we can make the meeting too. So let's, put that aside for a second as far as the date, okay?
But the date will be set and the complaint will be advised, is that correct?
Correct,
Complaint and the,
correct.
accused.
Correct.
Hate that word.
All right, then complaint number 6, Mercedes Cunningham. Is Mercedes here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes.
Bear with me.
Okay.
My
Can you get some help?
mobility is not good.
Can you help?
Oh, yeah. Oops. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm officially old and mobility challenged. Sorry about that.
No, no problem.
Okay. I appreciate the election board contacting me because I didn't know until yesterday about this, because I didn't get a letter from you, which that's okay. It happens. It's the mail. What can I say? But the reason I filed a complaint is because, okay, somebody that helps a neighbor, Davidson or whatever his name is, had this guy come and bring papers, and I always want to vote. Well, this is the first year my mobility's been bad and I haven't been able to get to center. So, anyway, they were going on, and finally they said, well, just sign it and we'll fill in the rest. And then to my horror, I found out that and I've got nothing against Democrats, honest folks, but my primary voting is Republican versus Graham. But I like to split my vote when I can. I like to, I vote for the people, not their particular party. So I get the thing in the mail and it was all Democrats. And I was like, what? I'm so naive. One, I didn't know not to take their word that I needed to fill it out myself before I signed it. So that's on me. I know now. And so I was in shock when I got things that says Democrat, and all these people were Democrats to pick. Didn't have a clue. So I couldn't vote. And I tried to call people and say, well, can I change it? And they said, no, because you signed it, and that messed me up. So the reason I filed the complaint was because I was not even stupid. And I felt bad because I didn't get to vote because I just misunderstood, was naive and dumb, and they signed me up for this Democrat. And I hope I can still vote my split ticket the next election. But I was concerned because I thought, oh my God, I really screwed up my chance to vote, period. And I don't want to do that because I may have mobility issues, and I thank you for your help, and I thank you for your help. You know, I feel it's so important that everybody needs to vote. And like I said, the mistake is on me because I was naive, and they said, we're going to, and because I was tired of standing and listening to it. So I'm like, okay, I'll sign it, and you guys can go on. And now I know that that was dumb. I'm learning slowly but surely. So my thing is, I just want to know that I'll be able to, I went to election or the board and filled out papers and stuff. I want to be able to vote in the primary because I vote, like I said, split vote Democrats and Republicans. I vote for who I feel should probably do it. And doesn't mean that all of the people I vote for are the best choice, but they're my choice. And I just hope I continue to get a privilege that now I know that one voting time is just Democrat or Republican, and I didn't realize that. I was doing good to be mobile. I have many years besides leg issues. And, and so I'm learning. I don't hate them. I just hated that I messed up being able to vote because I couldn't change it because they had me listed as I had to do total Democrat, and I didn't know everybody on the Democrat ticket. So if I can vote the next election for the split, because I guess now you can do the split, and then I hope when the next time comes around where you got to vote for one party that I can be back to being Republican, not Democrat, but that's just my choice. Because I mean, we're all sinners saved by grace, and if you're old and have challenges, you really need a lot of grace. And so, like I said, I vote for the people, not the party per se. And and not everybody has to agree with me, but I just feel so strongly about not losing the right to vote. So that's why I sent the thing in, and that was my thing. So I don't know what else to
I'm sorry
say.
that happened.
Hmm?
I'm sorry that had to happen to you.
Well, it's an awful learning experience, but
It sounds like there was some confusion maybe.
there was.
I can assure you, you're entitled to vote in whichever primary, the
Yeah.
party of your preference.
So as long as that can be taken off, because when I went to try to fix it, they said at that time that I on my own, since I had signed it, well, you got to stay Democrat.
And what you do with the primary has no bearing on your ability to vote for whoever you want in the general election coming up.
Okay. But will it get changed, I guess, in the other one to where I can vote just a Republican ticket if I want to? And like I said, now I know, I'm learning, guys, there's hope for us old people. I now know the difference. This is my first time in court after 73 years, so I'm a bit nervous, but as you can see, sadly, I do have mobility issues. I'm still kind of cognitive, but if I'm having a bad day pain-wise, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, move on. So,
You're 73?
yes, sir.
You're not old.
My bones feel 110. If you guys can do anything to, help with them, but I'll be grateful for each day I got, even though I don't always do it perfectly. I'm glad for, this was a fall on my face learning moment, and apparently a fall backward moment too. And thank you for your help.
Are you going to withdraw your election complaint?
If I can still vote like I want to vote for the next one with the Republican Party when I have to pick one or the other, the complaint's withdrawn, because it was just me being confused, not knowing, and I signed, and that's how that went. So
I can make that motion. So I will make a motion that we dismiss the complaint that Mercedes Cunningham filed.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. I'm sorry.
Aye.
well, sadly to say, that person does not have all their french fries in their Happy Meal, and helps be an aide for somebody in the building that I live in. And so he tries to take control. He is not with the people, ERS, that own the building. I live in the old YMCA building. But certain people in our day and time, sadly, want to be big cheeses and make decisions that are not theirs to make. And they did that. And I just assumed, which made an ass out of me at the time, that they knew what they were doing and that it was okay. But I ended up being very mistaken.
So one thing that we can encourage is for you to contact the election board and request traveling board if you can't, if you're not able to get out and go to one of the vote centers. You
I
are
have
more than
learned so
welcome.
much today. Thank God.
So that is where both Republican and Democrat can come and help you vote. But as far as absentee, when you want to request an absentee, which is what you did, I believe, then you can call Heather and she will mail one right out to you.
She's very good. See, I didn't even, that time I did not request it. They were coming through, but because my health was so bad, I was like, oh, great, I can do this. And I made a big mistake. So like I said, I'm not angry at the system. I just want a chance to be able to vote properly now that I know better.
All right, well, if you change your mind and you want to do the complaint, let us know, okay? All right.
Just don't file one against me because I didn't know and I was kind of old, and
Sounds like it's,
just so I apologize.
no problem, no apologies. Thank you, though.
Okay, am I dismissed?
Madam Chair, we still need to vote on this.
Oh.
I thought, did you,
We made the motion second, but I don't believe there's ever a vote.
okay, I'm sorry, okay, all right, so I seconded it. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, thank you so much.
To dismiss complaint number 6. Okay, so next meeting, we'll have to, I'll contact you by.
Thank you,
by the
guys.
date of the next meeting. And, I have a motion.
I know we adjourn.
Okay,
A second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pass, carries.